Long ball in, staying down ball, off hands Lawrence, could be two, last quarter goal! Lawrence makes it 19 points for the Saints!
What about the kids for this? Well, they're not kids, they're young men. Luke Ball, is he having a day and a half? This is only his 5th game of AFL footy. He's now racked up 24 possessions. He's taken 7 marks. And he's got some pretty good support cast out there as well. Goddard, comfortable. Started on interchange, but had a real impact.
Got a coach's box. Look at young Ball here. Not only the handball, but straight away went for the shepherd as well.
It's a beauty, Ed.
5th game, as Gary said, of football for Luke Ball. And he has had the ball on a string today. 24 possessions he's had, the young man. The best of the possessions for St Kilda, who now lead by 19 points, the biggest margin of the game. With 13 minutes left on the clock, the Cats, have they run out of lives? Sorry, Hayes has had 27, so number 2.
Kept Gary Ablett to just the 7 possessions for the day and 1 goal.
Better matchup. They gave him somebody who was capable of beating.
Kosicki goes forward immediately. As Black takes from the stoppage, kick is very good to Lawrence, who's becoming the last quarter man here today. Look at that, he gets up,
Ball.
Shows him the tail, kicks with composure to Ball. Stephen Lawrence has been exciting in this last quarter, and what about this man for 4 quarters? Luke Ball has been absolutely outstanding.
8th mark, Brian, as well.
And got on his own so often today that you can do that one of 2 ways. You can cheat your way into space, and there's plenty of them as Ben Graham makes a reappearance. The game almost dead. Or you can read the ball, read the play, and see it unfold quicker than most others. And this fella here fits into the latter category.
25th disposal. This would make it 25 points. Kick on the way from Ball. It's got the carry. The Saints will record their 2nd victory of the year, you would think.
And it won't be the last. Saints fans will remember this day, Gary. It'll be the day, I think, where they all believe that they are now on the march. It may be a long journey, but they've taken a significant step forward. You look at the Brisbane Lions midfield. Have a look at the talent that they were able to amass with so many early draft picks. And there's a midfield emerging here with Ball and Hayes and Goddard that could be its equivalent.
The Saints have kicked the last 4 goals of the game to lead by 25 points and have just about iced this one. Celebration time for the Saints. Ball has had a day out in game number 5. That's why he's the #1 draft pick last year. We've seen why Goddard was the #1 draft pick this year and Rewalt the year before. Hamill has led from the front, has done some hard things today, Hamill. Sanderson off half-back flank for the Cats. They need to really fight this game out in the last 9 minutes, the Cats, to get some credibility. But Black thumps it long, being held. Milne's got to get the free kick. Can't be that obvious, Brent Gergich.
I don't think it's Brent Gergich. There's a Geelong supporter who is none too impressed. I reckon it's Brenton Sanderson down there who's given away this free kick. Or Johnson, maybe.
Yeah,
someone else have a go, will you?
Stevie Milne might have been having a grab there as well, was he?
Johnson.
Johnson, I gave Brent Gergich the wrong mail. Sorry about that. But Milne comes in. St Kilda disposal for goal, 18.9 today, 24.7 before that. So they're getting better, the Saints. And Milne loves the goal. He gets his 3rd. No doubt about that. St Kilda have not beaten Geelong since round 17, 2000. They've been beaten 4 times on the trot by the Cats. That run ends today.
Slade gave it up to Ball. Around the corner, Lawrence, who's come to life in this last quarter. He's kicked 2 last quarter goals.
That's play on, surely.
He's a genuine half-forward area. Chip kick over the top to Milne on the lead. And another chance to kick his 4th as Hutchton comes from the ground.
Gary, Milne can only lead one way. That's up the ground. Why would no one stand in front of him in that situation?
There's a lot of there's a lot of players that we could level that same question at. There's only so much dangerous space.
Milne searching for the journey, has got it. Milne's kicked 4. Saints have kicked 6 in a row to finish this game off.
Stevie Milne, he loves the goals. He's an exciting character and going to drag a few extra thousand people through the gates at Telstra. In fact, I reckon Colo should sponsor Stevie Milne.
He mightn't for a little while, Gerard, but he is an excitement machine. There's no doubt about that, and he's been part of a forward line that provided plenty of options. Marks inside 50 for the Saints, sit at
25.
And for Geelong,
7.
So 39 points of difference now. 6 goals on the trot for the Saints. They have come marching in, there's no doubt. Gary Ablett Jr. kicks it forward. Rewalt from behind. The fist down to Lawrence was good. Out to Aussie Jones. Well, it's party time for the Saints now. In the old days, it would have been a big night in the social club.
Would have been a big 3 nights.
It would have been a big 3 weeks in the social club, a win like this. Where's Robbo when you need him? Here's Hamill. Look at that, just brushes him out of the way, thumps it long, looking for Kaczynski. One-on-one, Milne working. No, free kick to Scarlett. Advantage paid, Clark. Coming up to a minute and a half left in the game. Sanderson hasn't had a great day today. From defence at 55, he pumps it up to the wing position. Shepherd, Rewalt. They might just get one more to ice the cake here, the Saints.
Looking like they want to, Ed, aren't they?
Aussie Jones to Lawrence, who's been a star this quarter. Kicked 2 goals when the game was still in the balance. To Thompson. More than serviceable and gets a 50-metre penalty too.
you might get 2 the way Darren Milburn's running back.
Milburn having a bit too much to say. And Andrew Thompson, who kicked 1 goal, 1 to this stage, his goal coming in the second term, has got, that is 100 metres.
That was a fair 50.
Well, he kept talking to him. He should have shut up and he might have stopped.
He's giving him 65 bars just for the extra couple.
I think the umpire lost count.
That's shotgun Ralston.
Well, I was going to say, he might get within distance. He could handball this through nearly from here. There's the icing and the cake. It's a big day for the Saints.
Yeah, well done to Tomo. He set himself at the start of this year to get some more goals. Hasn't kicked a lot in his career. And he's come up with 2 goals in a match. And that wouldn't have happened too often for him throughout his career.
Milburn pays and comes off.
He's to be testing Robbo right now. He'd be looking to get away early to get down to that social club. Old habits die hard, Gary.
He'll hang in there, don't you worry.
A 45-point margin as we go into the last minute of the game. Telstra Dome is celebrating at the moment. St Kilda have come up big in the final quarter.
They've been very, very impressive the way they finished this game off and full of run. They've a few players have found a bit of touch and a bit of form today. Looks very, very promising.
Kelly wrapped up in the Lenny Hayes tackle. Hayes been good today with his 30 touches.
We've seen some big last quarters over this round of football.
It's amazing, isn't it? You just not sure whether it can't be a fitness component this early in the season.
Ablett. Kick partially smothered. King came through. Ling, as it was reported earlier in the day, an unusual report, a blood rule report. Clark combining with Wazinski. Driving ball forward. Kingsley, 1-on-3. Goddard. St Kilda have won.
They most certainly have. And won in emphatic fashion in the end over what has to be said, a pretty disappointing Geelong outfit. They were 7 points behind at 3/4 time, and that final margin has blown out to, so I get my calculator out.
45.
That's exactly right, Edward.
The margin was 7 points in front, Geelong at quarter time. 2 points of difference at half time. Was a cracking first half. 7 points, as Gary said, at the 3/4. 1 point the difference, 1 minute into the final term, and then bang, 7 goals on the trot for the Saints. And they did a 45-point win.
That final score, 18-11, 119, Geelong, 11-8, 74.
Yeah, certainly you look around that circle there, a nice blend of old and new. You saw Robert Harvey there. Robert Harvey was in terrific touch today with 24 possessions. But anyway, more of all that later. Here's the quarter by quarters. As Eddie was saying, only 7 points at quarter time, 2 at half time, 7 at three-quarter time. Amazing then to think that St Kilda ran out 45-point winners for their second win of the season. If we turn the page now and have a look at the goal kickers, and Stephen Milne just in terrific touch. I think Jared Healy said through the call that he'd put a few thousand extra backsides on the seats just to watch him because he's so exciting, and he certainly fitted the bill today. Stephen Milne there with 4 goals and the 2 behinds. Peter Riccardi for the Cats, the leading goal kicker, with 2. Also James Kelly. Well, Gary Lyon had a good long hard look at this match, and this is for the Holden Player of the Year, the Lou Richards medal, and he's given 8 each to Hayes and Ball, and Heath Black picked up 7 votes in what was a pretty important match for him, given his run-in with the man that got 6 votes there, Nick Rewalt, at training a couple of weeks ago, so he looks like he might be back in the good books. This was certainly a pressure match for Grant Thomas. After the loss to Richmond last week, he'd said that by any measure his team was still a better team, so he went into this match needing to live up to those expectations, and his boys certainly did that. Here's what Grant Thomas had to say afterwards.
I mentioned the word perseverance at half-time, and I just thought that that was something they needed to be complimented on, that they really persevered hard, and whilst we're only marginally ahead at half-time, they were really, you could tell that they were really keen to sort of push it right to the line, and at the other end of the game also in the last quarter when it, you know, it was I think 15 or 16 to 11 at one stage, and maybe we might have let them get a couple of goals late just to square it up a bit more, but I was really most pleased with our perseverance. I thought we meant business today, and they played from start to finish.
The drive of the footy was fairly good.
Fraser Gehrig has come back from down in the race. I would say that he's probably had some anti-inflammatory ointment put on his arch of his foot. He's changing his boots, so you'll probably expect that he would have the softer boots.
Let's put some inserts in there as well. I've been there, done that, know exactly how painful that can be.
Saints are going to end up with a goal through Harvey. Clearance not good by Rowan Smith under pressure. And the 31-year-old veteran Saint Robert Harvey was there to pounce, and the Saints lead us 2 goals.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there, Clinton. Rowan Smith did the hard work, got himself in front and got possession. Just needed to be definite in his mind and do the basic thing, and that was handball it either wide towards the boundary line and do your best to disguise it, or else probably the better option would have just been to thump it through for a point.
8 possessions already for the man I spoke about as far as his Brownlow record against this team. It's amazing.
I'm sure you put some money on him to be best on ground then, given your research, Matt. On the wing, Johnson in Baker. Baker's a... Oh, look at this. This is a full-blown melee now, and there's nothing the umpires can do to stop it. It's quarter time, and the fists are flying at the Telstra Dome. Wow, we haven't seen this since the WWE was in town last year. It's all in, and these are 2 clubs that can't afford big fines, but they'll get them. They will get them for sure. Club officials having to drag players away. Nathan Brown. Well, these are some ugly scenes here. Heath Black warmed up with his teammates a fortnight ago, and now looking a little worse for wear. He might have copped one in all that. I'm sure the video watchers will be having a very close look at the Fox Footy tapes. Nathan Burke is fuming.
Well, not only the players getting involved, but the officials, which really, they're the people that need to show some composure out there. A couple of trainers shaping up to do a little bit of shadow boxing. I don't know what good that would have done, but look, you've just got to focus and get things back on track here. There's a game of football to be played, and really, that's very, very undisciplined and a lack of maturity shown by everybody involved.
It's circa Richmond, Essendon, Windy Hill. Grant Thomas laying down the law. Wherever you are around Australia, I suggest you stay close to your television set for the next couple of hours, because this one looks like it's heating up. They're counting the casualties. Rowan Smith
and Heath Black.
Well, something happened in amongst all that.
Aaron Hamill was a long way from goal when he got involved there. He was at 10-half forward when the goal was kicked, went down into the contest, just had some words.
Remarkable stuff. And still, Gary Zimmerman, the doctor for the Bulldogs, working on Rowan Smith. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? The bottom line is St Kilda lead by a goal at quarter time, 4-3 to 3-3, after Robert Murphy dribbled one through. And hey, I'm right here, I saw it. It bounced. And the crowd have got someone else to boot. Bandy wins it down. Brad Johnson dashing away, backs himself, lost it. Ozzie Jones off the turnover to Lawrence. Go back and drill it, and we've got a 1-point game.
Well, Brad Johnson had done the hard work, got himself.
Yep, that's a good call. That's a good call from the boundary umpire. Thompson socketed into the ground. Send him to the Caribbean to umpire some cricket. He's done well there. Lawrence makes it a 1-point game. Talk about a hot contest here at the Dome. Bulldogs 5-4, the Saints 5-3.
Well, it was a bit unlucky. Brad Johnson was away in space, decided to take a bounce here, as we'll see on the replay. When you're in space, I think sometimes rather than do that, just kick it long and get it out of the defensive end. Ozzie Jones capitalised. And Stevie Lawrence is bobbing up in the forward line, creating plenty of headaches down there, and a good goal and a good reply from the Saints.
5-4 to 5-3.
Darcy back in the ruck for the Bulldogs.
St Kilda led by 6 points at quarter time. Speaking of 6, there he is, Heath Black, still yet to return to the arena since that quarter time melee. Mitchell Hahn, the ball bounces for. Hayes shrugs the tackle, keeps going, clean hands, Harvey. Jones needs to hit the target and does. Kazitsky quickly moving it, nice movement, ball. This is promising for St Kilda. Hamill just on the 50, couldn't quite take it. In there is Garlick. Hamill again with strength, but it falls now for the Western Bulldogs through Gian Siracusa. Stolen by Justin Peckett from outside 50 to put St Kilda back in front. Wonderful finish by Frankie Peckett, and the turnover once again costly.
Yeah, Frankie doesn't get down there that often, but that's a terrific finish. But again, how often do you see the pressure of Aaron Hamill? Was involved in the contest, hit the ground, got up, stayed involved. He just creates opportunities just by his mere pressure. Good reply by the Saints, and they're certainly back in the game.
And a wonderful finish. Leading by example, Aaron Hamill setting it up, and Peckett on the run from about 55. No problems. Shadows creeping towards the centre of the Telstra Dome. Darcy wins it on the way down. Bulldogs turn to respond, perhaps. Penny.
Barry Brooks in just his 5th game of AFL footy as Lee Montagna. He's doing some stretching. Chance here for Luke Ball. Needed some help and got it from the veteran in Burke. That is a clever handball. Peckett outside his defensive 50. Hamill one-on-one with Bassett. The spoil came. Hamill, though, his second effort good. Round the corner. Clever kick. Set up Lawrence beautifully. It's the second time we've seen that playing from Aaron Hamill.
It's just an unwillingness to accept defeat. And every time the ball gets to the ground, he makes sure that he maintains his feet, always stays in the contest. And when you've got a forward that's prepared to do that, it's a wonderful example for other players around him to follow. And look, he just keeps himself involved. Terrific kick, great vision.
So Lawrence, who already has a goal in this quarter, to stretch the lead for St Kilda. Pretty good off the boot. It's there. He's got another one. And St Kilda out to an 11-point margin. 7-4 to 5-5. Lawrence proving to be an elusive forward.
Yeah, he's not a guy, we mentioned it late last week in the last quarter, that he expects to bob up and kick a couple of goals. But look, he's a guy that's got himself back into the side and is making the most of his opportunities. But again, you've got to give Aaron Hamill the rap there.
He continues to lead by example, and St Kilda with the last 3 goals of the match, including the second to Stephen Lawrence. And no problems with the finish. Live around Australia, Fox Footy with you from the Telstra Dome. Our programming lineup continuing this week on the couch with Wayne Campbell joining Gerard, Mike and Robert. Into time on, second term. Saints by 11 points. Bandy got his hand to it, but the Saints will win the clearance. Black is back. Kicks towards half forward. Bounced over Hamill. Gary, good pickup. Ball. Rewalt. Harvey. Good night. How good is that? Harvey's got his second. The young, the old and the in-between combining for the Saints as they got the clearance, and their lead now is 17 points.
Well, prior to that goal being kicked, St Kilda had kicked 3 consecutive goals. There's got to be a conscious decision made by some senior players in the Western Bulldogs. Look, we can't afford easy possessions out of the centre square, and St Kilda just built that goal up by quick movement. And again, first clean possession out of the centre square. It's not surprising that the Bulldogs are trailing St Kilda 4-7 in that department at the moment.
And Robert Harvey with his 13th possession with his second goal. Last 4 goals to St Kilda. Pressure time for the Western Bulldogs with just over 6 minutes before half-time. They need to stem the flow and get a couple back.
Up for West, the leader for the Bulldogs towards Garlick. Hayes with the spoil. Going through willingly here. Ball. Powell. Beautiful fend-off from McMahon. And a wonderful pass to Lawrence, who can try and kick his 3rd goal for the quarter.
Well, the piece of play that I think summarised.
We'll come back to him. The umpire had come in, blown his whistle to call time off, and we'll set the mark.
Was that passage of play where the ball was in limbo. So players from both sides had to make the decision. They had to put their bodies on line there and win possession. I think it's just a sign of the way the game's gone. St Kilda have just gained the ascendancy, and they were the players that had it foremost in their minds to make sure that they didn't take the ball. They certainly made it head forward.
Well, that is the most careless defensive lapse you could possibly see from the Bulldogs. Lawrence, instead of kicking from 50, spies Lenny Hayes about 35 out, and he should have no problems from here. Well, just guarding territory, I suppose. They're not picking anyone up down there. And now Hayes from the opposite side of the ground behind the kick. On its way. Another one. I think it's fair to say Peter Road has got some ammunition to use at half-time. St Kilda have kicked 5 goals without a Bulldog reply, and they've opened up the biggest lead of the afternoon.
It's an area where Peter Road identified when he took over the coaching position that their hardness, their pressure skills had been deficient, and it was a well-known fact throughout the competition, certainly the Western Bulldogs, and that was just another example of players not being mentally aware and switched on. And look, if nothing else, you've got to be prepared to do the basic things very, very well. As a basis, that's your bare minimum that you've got to be able to contribute.
There's a certain amount of lethargy at the minute with the West. Inside the forward 50, Mitchell Hahn had to go, and he did.
Well, he deserves a pat on the back. He's got his hands on his knees now. That was absolutely fantastic courage by Mitchell Hahn, without knowing what's coming, making his mind up to provide a contest. And look, every Western Bulldogs player that's down around him should get over there and pat the young fellow on the back.
Oh, that's a wonderful knock by Kaczynski. Lenny Hayes, he could probably seal it. Goal Hayes! His second, 2 in a row to the Saints. Wonderful ruck work by Justin Kaczynski.
Yeah, it was a terrific piece of play. Looked like a set play. But look, the Western Bulldogs, they're a dejected side at the moment. A lot of hands on hips, heads down. When it's tight and the game's close, in your defensive half, you've got to play close attention. You've got to be smart where you position yourself. Really, Lenny Hayes shouldn't have been allowed to run towards goal with no Western Bulldogs players in between him and the goal face. You've just got to make sure that you play on the defensive side when it's tight and close. And look, that's really unforgivable. Look, they've worked extremely hard, the Bulldogs, but small mistakes like that end up proving to be very, very costly.
Live around Australia on your home.
Hamill again with strength, but it falls now for the Western Bulldogs through Gian Siracusa. Stolen by Justin Peckett from outside 50 to put St Kilda back in front.
Black is back. Kicks towards half forward. Bounced over Hamill. Gary, good pickup. Ball. Rewalt. Harvey. Good night.
Important kick this for the Bulldogs. Hooks it across the front. They're still in the contest. Ball at ground level. McMahon over the shoulder. Oh, he's kicked it. A beauty. Clever play by Sam Power. Released Hahn, who got it from Harrison. High ball should suit. Got it! And the 17-year-old takes a specky. Here's Lindsay Gilbey. Plenty of possession for him. And he wants Bowden. It's a measured kick. It's a beautiful kick. Well, he missed his earlier shot on goal from a 50-metre mark. It was a lot closer, a lot straighter. This is a tougher kick. We're on the reverse angle. Really needs to seal it, though. And he makes amends. He gets his second. Good kick, good finish to Patrick Bowden.
Hard ball to be won here. Hamill crashing through. Freed up Harvey to give it to Jones. Long ball. Kazitsky in front. Kazitsky, number 3.
Loose player on the wing. It could be very costly for Stephen Powell as Dimatina, the handball over the top, standing on his own, inside 50, Bandy to make them pay at the other end, and he does.
Bulldogs still in attack. Bandy got it to Bowden for number 3. Yes! The Bulldogs surging back. Kazitsky can go to Burke, he will. And Nathan will mark and play on. And could he kick a goal from here? He goes long to the square. Peckett back there. McMahon the pressure. Peckett could be the hero. Justin Peckett has kicked a goal.
And it was the seal of the Saints win their second game in a row to square their season away at 3-3. A hard-fought contest where the AFL may finance their mid-year trip to the snow out of the quarter-time melee. The Saints led at each change, including by 4 goals at half-time. Peter Rowe challenged his players. They responded. They got to within 1 point at one stage in the third term, but the Saints kicked 2 goals in time on. Again, the Bulldogs rallied in the last. They got to within 5 points, but the Saints kicked clear, and they win 15-10 to 12-13. Another honourable loss for the Dogs, but that's of little consolation. St Kilda led by Justin Kazitsky with 3 goals to complement 19 possessions and 10 marks. 5 players booting 2 goals, while for the Bulldogs, Patrick Bowden kicked 3 and Matthew Croft 2. Now on the injury front, a big list for the Bulldogs. Cross with a hand, Crediok with a hamstring replaced in the selected side by Power. St Kilda, Black with a jaw. No surprise where that came from. Gehrig with a foot injury, Brooks with a hand. That report, Hargrave for striking Black at quarter time. The video watchers will be out in force to have a look at this. Here's how it unfolded. The quarter time siren has sounded. The 2 teams making their way to have a listen to the coaches on the wing. And then all hell broke loose. The biggest dust-up since the Collingwood-Essendon grand final brawl at the quarter time break back in 1990. But as I said, only the 1 report tabled so far. But you can bet they will be watching this one in slow-mo. There'll be melee charges. And there'll be a stack of fines. Not that we condone anything like that, of course. Let's move on. St Kilda improved to 3-3. Grant Thomas said afterwards there's still vast scope for improvement.
I thought we played poorly in the last half. We didn't follow instructions, and it wasn't a winnable lead at half-time, but it was a decent break. And that's when good sides need to go on with the game and stick to the plans. And we just got a bit lazy. And Bulldogs are a very good side. When they got control of the footy, they chip it around, and I think we got a bit mesmerised and started doing the same thing, and we weren't as accountable as we were in the first half.
Sitting here right now, you know, I think it's been a pattern of our season is that we work hard.
Against his old side to start with, just wanders around and in and out of trouble. Tallis. Oh, Murray! What a start for his career for the Saints. Alan Murray strides in for the opening goal. It's Cox feeding it out. And the Hawks going forward, plenty of numbers. Handball from Patani, not sure about the decision. Everett can make it look very, very good.
Just allow him to get into the game, see what they do.
Good hit out by Thompson, but not the good result. Taken by Burke. Murray deflects it for Peckett, finds an opening. Justin Peckett dribbles it home.
Noble and Everett. Noble, the second one was good, and Harvey again. So good from the clearances, the Saints. Aussie Jones, good build-up, Milne, overwhelmed. Almost could have got a free for hanging on. Play honours, Peckett takes full advantage, fires away with the left boot, and kicks his second. Some good signs for them. They've been able to create the loose man. Rees to centre half forward. Oh, Campbell Brown. Well, he was held on to. So Nick Holland, just the 3 possessions today, but importantly, 4 marks and 3 goals.
Charging it down, measuring a kick out in front of Rewalt. The bounce, favourable. Rewalt on the left, towards full forward. Hamill, Milne, slippery when wet, ducks the tackle, snaps, the goal! Good luck. Everett winning it down, Burke sharking it. Towards the pocket, here's Milne, the bounce eluding him. Here's Barlow, paddling it on. Crowd wanted a free kick, not there. Peckett for number 3! Justin Peckett is having a day out.
Powell, nothing effectual. Cox's kick was smothered by his own teammate. Loney unloads. Which way will this one bounce? That's through the middle, no doubt about it. So if a Saint can run onto it, he's going to have some room to move. Murray didn't have much. Noble. Here's the space for Milne. Hamill. Free kick, advantage paid. Hamill kicks a goal. Hamill kicks a goal. That's his second. And the Saints are on fire.
Burke, good handball. Thompson corrals it in, still has Voss. Goes short. Murray at the back. Gehrig can't control it. Hay, risky, effective. No, Gehrig goal. Rewalt tracking it back. Rawlings, that's a nice pickup. Handball to Joel Smith. Unguarded goal square. Joel Smith, can he dribble it through? Yes, he can. Helped through by Lanson. Everett got the hand pass away under pressure. Robert Harvey goes short. Sliding into it, Murray. Following it up, Gehrig. Look at the tackles. Thompson, this time. Kick it goal. Bounces through.
Again, they break down across half forward. Crawford, maybe there's still hope. There better be a goal if there is going to be any hope. But Tony made it tough for Rawlings. Had to try and conjure up something. And Jade Rawlings has. He's kicked a wonderful goal.
Hard to take when your team's going down, isn't it? Powell, out of the pack. Hurries one and goal! Oh, it's percentage boosting time now. Here's the man in question. Has had his own footy today. Backs himself for a bounce. Delivers to Murray. Murray. From the Murray, the border, at Lavington, to add some percentage. Oh, boy! It's what dreams are made of.
First game for the Saints, he kicks 4 goals, a star in the making. St Kilda win the Victoria Police Blue Ribbon Cup, all but ending Hawthorn's finals hopes. 28 points, the final margin 17-16 to 14 goals 6. It was close all afternoon. The Saints by 2, 7 and 4 points at the changes. The Hawks had led by as many as 17 points midway in the second term, were looking good, but the Saints closed it out strongly. 5 goals, 7 to 2-1, including 3 late after the Hawks had closed to within 8 points in time on. Murray with 4 goals in his first game for the Saints, second game overall. Played one with Port last year. He kicked the day's first and last goals. Justin Peckett bobbed up with 3 in the first half. Hamill and Powell also with 3. While Nick Holland, back in form for the Hawks, good second quarter, kicked 3 goals. Angelo Lekis, though, badly broken nose in only the second minute, did return for a while. Nathan Thompson limped off just before half-time, a calf injury, and did not reappear. Robert Harvey, best on ground. 40 possessions, rolling back the clock. He was fantastic. The Saints sneak home. Grant Thomas happy, but already is looking ahead to next week's home game against Brisbane.
It was a game we needed to win and we should have won, and we did win. And but we've got a huge test this week, and it gives us a great indication as to where we're at. But we need to keep winning those games. It's still a very, very open season, and it's amazing what you can achieve if a couple of things go your way and you just keep your head down and work extremely hard. It's amazing what can come out the other end.
They controlled the game. I mean, I think if you looked at it in the second half, they had 25